Everyone claims to desire growth until life begins to dismantle their comfort, pride, and excuses. Growth isn't about pleasant feelings. It's about confronting reality. It necessitates quietude, sacrifice, and a level of discipline that most individuals evade. Let's be frank. It's simple to discuss self-improvement when circumstances are favorable. It's effortless to dream when no challenges arise. But the instant life exerts pressure, the truth emerges. Who is genuinely committed and who is merely feigning interest? Who seeks results and who craves only attention? Growth isn't charming, nor is it adorned with inspirational quotes or popular affirmations. It is unrefined and arduous. It's the moments where you question if it's even worth it, and then decide to keep going anyway. It's waking up early when no one is clapping for you. It's saying no to the very thing that used to define your comfort. It is walking away from familiar chaos and choosing unfamiliar clarity. It's staying silent when your ego wants to speak. It's fighting battles inside your mind that no one ever sees. Growth is personal. It's lonely. It's brutal, but it's also the most powerful gift you'll ever give yourself. See, people want results, but they don't want the refinement. Many seek success without sacrifice, power without pain, discipline without delay, and victory without vulnerability. However, true growth demands discomfort. You cannot evolve while prioritizing pride over potential. Growth emerges when you shed pretenses and embrace brutal honesty. What most won't admit is that growth has a price. It necessitates letting go of old identities and sacrificing the approval of those who celebrated your weaker self. It means relinquishing the comfort of routine, the allure of mediocrity, and the distractions that fostered numbness. Yet the rewards are immeasurable. Clarity, peace, and the ability to look in the mirror with pride, affirming the person you are becoming. You stop chasing validation. You stop waiting to be picked. You stop asking for permission to rise. And you start choosing growth daily. You start moving like someone who isn't playing anymore. You build habits that sharpen you. You build focus that protects you. You build character that leads you. And that's the difference. Because when you grow, really grow, you don't just change your environment, you change your standard. You stop settling for crumbs when you know you were built for more. You stop explaining your dream to people who only speak in limitations. You stop showing up halfway and start living fully. So before we dive into these 10 rules, I need you to make a decision. Do you want to feel good or do you want to become great? Do you seek comfort or ascension? Growth isn't a gift to the interested. It's a reward for the committed. It finds those weary of excuses, ready to live with purpose. If you desire growth, don't just take notes. Nod your head or post a quote. Live these rules, one by one, day by day, until your past self is unrecognizable. This isn't self-help. It's self-respect. This is the distinction between those who evolve and those trapped in cycles, between legacy builders and excuse makers, between leaders and observers. Let's begin. Rule number 1, confront the truth, no matter how unpleasant. Growth begins where comfort ends. But it starts with something even deeper than discipline. It starts with truth. If you want to grow in life, the first rule is simple. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you're trying when you're barely showing up. Stop blaming the world when deep down, you know you're avoiding your own reflection. Stop calling it bad luck when it's really just a pattern of bad choices. Here's the harsh truth. You can't change what you keep defending. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Growth doesn't come from pretending you're okay. It comes from saying, I've been slacking, I've been afraid, I've been making excuses. It comes from looking your weakness dead in the eye and saying, not anymore. Nobody grows by being coddled. You grow by being called out, especially by yourself. The world will lie to you, people will flatter you, but your life will always mirror your level of honesty. So be brutal. Audit your habits, audit your thinking, audit your circle. Truly assess your efforts. Are you excelling or merely getting by? Are you building towards something or simply occupying your time? Do your actions align with your vision or are you just making empty promises? This self-inquiry is challenging, but it's precisely why it's effective. Once you stop rationalizing your habits, you can finally begin to change them. You'll stop embellishing your excuses and start dismantling them, leading to genuine growth. No more feigned accountability. No more disguising weakness as self-care. No more concealing yourself behind unfulfilled potential. From this moment forward, confront the truth, even when it's painful, especially when it's painful. because within that truth lies your freedom. Rule number 2, master the boring things. That's where greatness lives. Everyone wants to grow until they realize growth is repetitive, not glamorous, not exciting, just consistent. See, the people who really transform their lives aren't chasing shiny tactics. They're mastering the basics over and over and over again. They wake up early. They stay disciplined. They eat clean. They move their body. They track their time. They do the work even when they're not in the mood. If you're too proud to be consistent in the small things, you'll never earn the big things, because success isn't about random intensity. It's about sustained commitment. Success isn't born from sporadic moments, but from consistent routines. Your future is forged not in grand public gestures, but in the quiet daily disciplines when no one is observing or applauding. True growth resides in the unglamorous, the silent and the repetitive. Many aspire to be a lion, but few are willing to engage in the consistent, arduous work that defines one. Similarly, many desire results, yet falter when faced with the unglamorous, repetitive grind, especially without immediate recognition. However, those who commit to this boring work transcend mediocrity. They become formidable, sharp, and deeply focused because once the process itself becomes the passion, the desired outcome is an inevitable byproduct. Therefore, cease the pursuit of fleeting motivation. Chase mastery. And if it feels boring, good. That means you're finally doing it right. Rule number 3, stop explaining your growth to people who want you small. If you want to grow in life, here's a rule. You better tattoo on your mindset. Stop shrinking for people who gave up on themselves, because the moment you start changing, when you begin to shift your perspective, your actions, and your way of being, those closest to you may feel uneasy. They might remark, "You've changed. You're acting differently. Do you think you're better now?" And the answer is yes, you have changed, and there's no need to apologize for it. You've come too far to continue playing small, simply to appease the insecurities of others. Understand that not everyone will applaud your progress, grasp your choices, or support the version of you that no longer accepts mediocrity. And that's perfectly fine. Personal growth is, after all, a solitary journey. It's not a group project. You don't owe explanations to people who didn't show up for your struggle. Some of them only like the version of you that was quiet, unsure, dependent. Some of them only loved you when you stayed in the cage. They built for you. Now that you're thinking bigger, they feel threatened. Now that you prioritize peace over drama and purpose over chaos, some may call you selfish. Let them. If your personal growth offends someone, they weren't truly supporting you. They were merely trying to control you. So proceed with confidence, and if necessary, do so quietly. Never diminish your ambition for anyone. You don't need to dim your own light to make others comfortable in their darkness. They can either adapt or depart. Regardless, you will not shrink yourself again. Rule number 4, discipline means continuing even when the excitement fades. Let's be clear. Discipline, not talent, motivation, or luck, is the cornerstone of all greatness. Discipline is what propels you forward when the initial passion is gone, when the newness wears off, when the audience vanishes, and when no one is inquiring about your progress, yet you persist. You see, most people start strong. They commit when it's fresh, when it feels good, when it's still exciting. But as soon as it gets routine, as soon as it gets quiet, repetitive, or difficult, they fall off because they were in love with the feeling. Not the discipline is different. Discipline says, "I don't care how I feel. This still gets done." Discipline turns you into the kind of person who's dangerous in the dark, who doesn't need praise, comfort, or a perfect environment. Because discipline isn't about pushing harder. It's about pushing consistently. You train when you're tired. You focus. When you're distracted, you act with. Discipline is the differentiator. It's the force that distinguishes those who merely desire growth from those who actively achieve it. Long-term success often belongs not to the most talented, but to the most disciplined individuals. Therefore, if your aim is personal growth, don't rely solely on fleeting motivation. Cultivate the habit of consistent action, irrespective of your emotional state. This commitment to discipline provides the crucial edge and serves as a fundamental rule for success. Rule number 5 emphasizes the importance of learning to be alone without succumbing to despair. This is a critical lesson for genuine personal growth, best learned early. View isolation not as a penalty, but as a period of preparation. There will inevitably be times when you find yourself without external support. No one checking in, no one understanding your struggles, and no one endorsing your endeavors. In these moments, you are left with only yourself. This is where most people crumble because they've never learned to sit with their own silence. They've always needed a crowd to feel worthy, a voice to validate them, a distraction to keep them from thinking. But growth requires solitude. It requires sitting in the quiet long enough to hear your own voice again, to ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? Who am I when no one claps? Who am I when it's just me? And the work, that's where confidence is born. Not in crowds, but in solitude. Not in being seen, but in being sure. Because if you can't stand by yourself, you'll always attach to the wrong people just to feel whole. You'll settle, you'll shrink, you'll sabotage your growth just to avoid being alone. So flip the script. Learn to love your own company, to enjoy your thoughts, to respect your peace. Because if you can master solitude, you become unbreakable. You stop needing approval. You stop seeking validation. You stop fearing abandonment. So once you no longer fear being alone, you start choosing only the people who add value to your life. Solitude fosters clarity, which is essential for growth. Therefore, cultivating the ability to be alone, not lonely, but aligned with your purpose, is a crucial rule. Rule number 6 for personal growth is to release what no longer serves you. To truly grow, you must frequently let go of old habits, comfort zones, and the version of yourself that is merely surviving instead of evolving. Growth isn't solely about accumulating new things. It's also about shedding what hinders you. Many individuals are weighed down not due to weakness, but because they are unwilling to discard what is no longer necessary. Old friendships that drain you, old beliefs that limit you, old routines that keep you in circles, even old versions of success that no longer align with who you're becoming. You cannot step into your next chapter while clinging to the last one. Let me tell you something real. You don't need more time. You need less baggage. Most people aren't stuck because they don't know where to go. They're stuck because they're scared to leave. What's familiar? They confuse loyalty with limitation. They stay loyal to pain, to patterns, to people, and wonder why they feel empty every night. Letting go is not failure. It's freedom. It takes strength to say, this no longer fits where I'm headed. This habit doesn't serve the life I'm building. This person doesn't speak to the future I've committed to. Growth requires pruning, cutting back so you can grow forward, saying goodbye so you can say yes to something greater. So look around, look within. What are you still holding on to? That's already let go of you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for things to fall apart. Rule number 7, stop waiting. No one is coming to save you. This one's going to sting for some people, but if you truly want to grow, hear me loud and clear. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for support. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your mentor, not your boss, and definitely not the world. This life, it's on you. The results you want, the peace you crave, the person you're trying to become. They're all waiting on you to move. So many people stay stuck, not because they lack potential, but because they're addicted to delay. They keep saying, I'll start when I'm ready. I'll try when I'm less busy. I'll move when I feel more confident. But that day never comes because confidence doesn't come before action. Growth blossoms from consistency. Rise and build even if your hands tremble, your heart wavers, or fear grips your chest. Build nonetheless. Don't passively await discovery. Unearth your own potential. Don't hope for rescue. Liberate your own capabilities. You possess the breath of life, a vision within your heart, pain transformed into wisdom, and setbacks that have become your fuel. Utilize these resources. Cease external searching and look inward. All you require already resides within you. It merely awaits your unwavering belief and daring action. Perfection is not a prerequisite. Simply begin today, right where you are. No more waiting. Rule number 8. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Let me tell you something. Most people never realize until it's too late. Your energy is your life currency. Not your time, not your money, your energy. Because without energy, you can't think clearly. You can't build deeply. You can't grow steadily. And yet most people spend their energy like it's unlimited. They give it to drama. They give it to distractions. They give it to people who only show up when they need something. And by the time they get to their goals, they're drained, depleted, burned out before they even begin. Here's the rule. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Start filtering what gets access to your mind. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every person deserves your time. And hear this. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is walk away. Walk away from noise. Walk away from fake urgency. Walk away from the people who confuse access with entitlement. You don't owe your peace to anyone. You don't have to explain your boundaries to those who constantly break them. You don't need to feel guilty for choosing your growth over someone else's comfort. The stronger you grow, the more intentional you must become with where your energy flows. So ask yourself daily, is this building me or draining me? Is this aligned or just familiar? Is this worth my energy? Or just loud? Because everything in your life is either fueling your future or quietly killing your potential. So protect it, not out of fear, but out of respect for the person you're becoming. Rule number 9, be humble enough to learn and bold enough to apply. Growth has two enemies, ego and fear. Ego says, I already know. Fear says, what if I fail? And both will keep you stuck. If you want to grow, you have to be humble enough to stay a student. No matter how far you've come, you have to be willing to ask questions, take correction, and admit what you don't know. No matter your strength or wisdom, there's always more to learn. However, learning isn't enough. You must be bold enough to apply what you've learned. Take action, test it, and fail forward. Growth and progress aren't found in just reading books, watching videos, or taking notes. Instead, growth is found in execution, in stepping into the unknown, and turning lessons into action, even if it's messy. You don't get stronger by collecting knowledge, you grow by using it. You don't evolve by playing it safe, you grow by risking failure in the pursuit of becoming better. The fastest growers aren't those who always get it right. They're the ones who aren't afraid to get it wrong. So be a student, be a doer. Be someone who stays teachable and takes bold steps. Because when you combine humility with courage, you become unshakable. Rule number 10, build a life you don't need to escape from. Let's close this with something deep and honest. If your growth isn't leading you to peace, then you're not growing. You're just performing. Because at the end of all the hustle, all the effort, all the long nights and early mornings, what's it for? More stuff, more applause, more fake success. That leaves you restless at night. The real goal is freedom. Peace of mind, alignment, waking up without resentment, looking in the mirror and being proud of the life you've built. Avoid burnout from constantly building a resume at the expense of your identity. Many accumulate public accolades while privately struggling. Your purpose isn't solely work, performance, or impressing others. It's to live, create, and contribute, to feel that your life is authentic. This doesn't mean it's easy, but it signifies its genuine nature. It means you've built your life intentionally, made meaningful sacrifices, and evolved into someone you genuinely enjoy being. Instead of pursuing a life that merely looks good online, cultivate one that resonates deeply within your soul. Strive for a life with defined boundaries, good health, clear purpose, strong values, and relationships that truly nourish you rather than just existing. Because the goal isn't to escape life on weekends, it's to design a life you don't want to run from on Monday morning.